Hey folks, it's Dennis here, and I wanted to do a little intro before the episode. As you may or may not know, Charlie's mom lost all of her belongings and her home in the fires that devastated the Denver area, and it's very unfortunate. Between the time that we recorded and now, there has been a GoFundMe that has been made to help with some of the recovery of Charlie's mom's things. So if you have any spare money that you can donate, please do so. The link is in the description. Thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy the episode. No, I mean, I was gonna say, like, you could talk, not the fire or anything. That's a
not the what?
Not gonna lie, that's a bad cold open.
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about that.
No, I was going to talk about your boob job.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I got many things going on in my life. Pick one.
Yeah.
I'm building.
Yeah.
Talk
about your boobs.
Boobies. Boobs. There was that fire. Building a sex dungeon. I got so much going on.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
you just hear the Home Depot theme and get horny now.
Yeah.
You hear Tim the Toolman Taylor go that weird grunting voice.
That was too elongated, but you get what I'm saying. What am I doing? That was Mr. Krabs. I can't do a Tim Allen.
Yeah.
This is content right here.
Tim the Toolman. No, he's called Tim the Toolman because he's good with a tool. You know what I'm saying?
Crack pipe?
Like oral sex.
Oh.
That too. Yeah. Tim does everything, baby.
I mean, have you ever...
he's all over the map.
I mean, have you ever wondered why the fence always cover Wilson's mouth? Perhaps it's because it makes Tim exceedingly horny, and they cannot resist one another, so they have to talk with the fence.
Otherwise, they'll be fucking kissing all over each other.
Yeah.
You should see you don't really see it a lot in the show. There's a hole in the fence right about hips level,
where they just touch the tips as they talk.
Yeah. It's like a glory hole, but it's a glory hole, but just for touching tips. That's the kind of innovation we're busting out in 2022. Hi, I'm Bo from Psychic Dolphin Garage, and thank you for coming to my fucking Shark Tank dipshit talk.
But guys do fraught at
No, you definitely. Hole. I mean, everybody fraughts. Everybody fraughts sometimes. That's gonna get us copyright struck.
Yeah.
Stricken. Yeah. Stricken from the record.
No, I'm hot to fraught.
Hot to fraught. Nice. I like that.
As I've been known to be hot to fraught.
Hot to fraught.
Where?
It's quite a fraught subject. Am I right? What were we talking about?
Boobs.
Charlie's boobs.
Yeah. Assuming this comes out on Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever you end up doing, I will. By the time you hear this, my boobs will have doubled in size. Because on Monday,
is it like a Christmas Grinch thing? Yeah.
Well, it's because I got the vaccine. I got my booster a week ago, and so I've just been waiting. On Monday,
it's all the soy in there. Yeah.
It's the soy.
Soy, which, as we all know, is the same thing as estrogen. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's why I drank all that soy milk growing up. I knew.
Give yourself some nice big old milk.
Yeah, it didn't work. It worked a little bit.
It worked a little bit. That's
before I transitioned, I had a little bit of breast tissue. My boobs hurt when I was going through puberty the first time, and then I was like, "What is this?" And then I remember
it's a sign.
Well, no. See, I remember. Before I came out as trans, I thought I don't really remember having any memories of oh, oops, what if I just woke up a girl though? But no, I had a good few months during the testosterone puberty where I absolutely my tits hurt real bad because I was you do develop a little bit of breast tissue. Some people do. It's just a thing. And I definitely did have the thought at that time ooh, what would I have to deal with if I just woke up a girl and was going through the wrong puberty? And I definitely remember having some fantasies about well, what would that be like in school? And I guess my life was just too stressful and chaotic for me to just remember that because I don't know, I feel like that's
retroactive egg
Yeah,
memory.
Yeah, I had a bit of an egg memory, and so now I think it's only fair that I go. I think it's only fair that the health insurance I have is actually covering. See, this is what's actually neat, and this is okay. Okay, health insurance is sad because you have to like code things as shit, but like the boob job I'm getting counts as like reconstructive because it's like if you had cancer or something and they were putting it back together, and so like as long as gender care continues to exist, I will be able to continue to get like care on it because like it's not something you just put in you and then forget about. You gotta like keep an eye on it.
It's just set it and forget it titties. Yeah.
Right. That's what I did the first time.
Sam was saying this, like, it is kind of a fucked up thing where it's like, you know, there are a lot of people who are saying like, oh no, like gender dysmorphia and gender dysphoria shouldn't be in the DSM, like, you know, we're not sick, we're not crazy. But at the same time, because of that, it's diagnosable, these things can then be covered by insurance.
Right. I mean,
because of how fucked up the way that we think about like gender is.
I mean, I would argue that the DSM is just sort of like a byproduct of insurance. Like, well, it is affected by insurance as much as insurance is affected by it. Like, it's not born of insurance, but I don't think there's any point in its history where like public health care was a consideration within it. Now that there's some international input, maybe, but like you have
to add on for 2020 take, the year of the take. That's what this is now. The year of the take tiger, which is the fucking show's other mascot that sucks worse than the dolphin guy. The psychic dolphin itself. Takey the tiger.
Tanky the tiger.
Takey the tanky tiger. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, we've got it, folks. Takey the tanky tiger says, God, that sucks to say, says gender should be in the DSM 5 or 6 or whatever we're on at this point. Whoa.
Yeah.
Gender's a mental illness, like society. Ah. You know?
Just great. We're going to get like fucking medication commercials. How are you being afflicted by society? Talk to your doctor about society.
And it's just a bunch of people in Joker makeup, like riding bikes and fucking, you know, like going to cookouts and shit.
Well, it's like a fucking like stoner dude, like who's listening to Too Much String Cheese Incident, is just sort of hanging out and then like smoking weed or something, and then just takes this pill to alleviate society, and just goes like it does the like. It's those ones
becomes neurotypical.
Well, it's those ones where they like peel off the like weird layer of film grain and desaturation they put over it, and they just suddenly bloom into a saturated world. Except when you peel it off, they're in Joker makeup now, and they suddenly see that many people around them are also in Joker makeup, and they're like, "Whoa, I had no idea you also had society." And they're like, "I wish I could have told you, but like." You had society, and that means that's like the number one thing that makes it so you can't tell you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, fucking the thing about society is it often goes way underdiagnosed. I'd like to talk to y'all tonight about a gentleman by the name of Mark Fisher.
Oh my god,
that's right. I'm back on my bullshit. 2022, baby.
God. Anyway,
I never left my bullshit.
Yeah, so
congratulations to Charlie's boobs.
Congratulations to Charlie's boobs and the Queen for not making it, and the boobs for making it.
I didn't get to choose what size because they're not, because like it actually is reconstructive in a sense. Like they're not putting in like a size thing to like just make them bigger. They're actually like they're gonna lift them up my chest a little bit. They're going to make them. They're gonna rearrange some things to make them sort of, because like my chest is like much wider and bigger and more like the muscles and the bones and shit are just a little bit bigger than they would be if I had not gone through fucking testosterone puberty. So they're actually like they're moving them up a little bit. They're filling them out. They should wind up looking like really like nice honking tits on my chest, but also, you know, they're gonna
great stonking tits.
Yeah, slightly a little bit of a different location, a little bit of a different look. It's gonna be real nice. So I went in thinking I wasn't gonna be able to get cleavage because like my boobs are like 3 or 4 finger widths apart from one another. But I was like, I don't expect cleavage or anything out of it. And the search was just like, oh no, you fucking put the right bra on, you'll get cleavage out of this. Like they're gonna be big enough. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna be excited.
Decolletage.
Yeah. What?
Right. This décolletage. Come on, décolletage. No.
Not ringing a bell.
No, it's the French word for cleavage.
Oh.
That's great. The French did that one thing right.
But so it's great. I'll play Kim Petras's Coconuts for in honor of your top surgery tomorrow.
Cool.
Charlie.
I'm going in at 10 a.m. So around 11. Round 11. Put it on, and I'll be going under.
Okay, fuck 20 tanky tiger guy too. Whatever. That character sucks. I hate him. He's dead. In the canon, we killed him.
Okay.
He left for his home planet. Whatever. This new year, welcome, ladies and germs, to 20 Titty 2 and Q Coconuts.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
What does the 2 have to do with tits, other than like similar letters?
20,
it's the year.
20. It's Titty 2.
Okay.
Because there's 2 of them.
But this is the year then you learn how to peck bounce, so then we could all have something titty related.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode from the Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm Charlie, she, her.
I'm
Bo,
Dennis. Oh shit! All the orders all fucked up. 2022 is already a year of chaos.
I'm Dennis, he, they.
I'm Bo, he, him.
There
I'm gonna start.
Go. Yeah.
I'm just gonna rearrange all the names on here, but not the pronouns. See what comes out of you.
Just spin the wheel of pronouns. See what you get.
I mean, honestly, like, again, it's gender stupid. It's
gender is a mental illness. Society is a mental illness.
I mean, like,
sports not the exact right amount is definitely a mental illness.
Yeah. For example, I don't like sports very much, and I don't engage with it at all, and I don't feel good.
That's the right amount.
My tummy hurts.
That's also a mental illness. Sorry to say.
It is though, actually.
Yeah, if your tummy hurts and you're unable to be brave about it, that is a mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be brave about it.
When you get a migraine, because it's fucking up the nerve that runs down like one of the sides of your body, usually the left side.
Yeah.
It can fuck up your gut because it goes into your gut.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've thrown up only twice because of migraines, but
yeah, when I was a kid, it was throwing up that made it go away. Like I would throw up and it would disappear within like 5 minutes. It was like wonderful, and that's how I've gotten my wires crossed on throwing up, so that like. I was talking a brief diversion because why do anything? My brain doesn't work right now. I'm tired, so I was because I was
tis
talking
the season
to
for that.
Yeah, it really is. I was talking to Jack about like we were talking about like food aversion, like smell aversion or scent aversion, whatever the fuck it is, where like you throw up a food and then like your body wants you to throw it up if you smell it again. Or like if you eat it again, and I don't have that. Mm-hmm. Like if I throw something up, I can just eat it tomorrow and it's fine. Like I just have none of that.
Not the vomit.
Throw it up.
Yeah, no, like a dog.
That wasn't
does.
my goal when I ate. And maybe it was because I threw up so much from so many migraines as a kid, and then also when I got whooping cough as a kid because I was allergic to the vaccine, so I couldn't get it, and I got it because that's how that fucking works.
And you whooped up a whole fucking mess of stuff.
I would just whoop until I vomited. Like, it was terrible.
Do you think
I cracked a rib, I think.
Juggalos are... Yeah, that sounds fucking
It was awful.
Jesus.
I had it for like 8... It was like 8
Do y'all
months.
think Juggalos fucking are anti-vaxxers specifically for whooping cough? You know, because you want your kids to be whooping? It's a Juggalo household. You will whoop in this household. If my name isn't fucking... I don't know. Whatever Juggalos name their kids.
Yeah.
Also, there is a group of left-wing Juggalos called the Struggalos. I do need.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's so badass.
That's actually very cool.
I fucking love that. Yeah. I mean, fucking most Juggalos are working class anyway. So like, you know, I would say overall, like, fucking, you know, If I had to throw my hat in the ring with somebody,
Yeah.
It'd be
them.
with the struggalos.
I'm down with the clown. You know,
I'm not. I can't do it. It's
I
never
know
listened to it.
nothing about their discography. I know nothing about the fucking fandom more deeply. But you know, I like clown aesthetics and drinking Faygo.
Yeah,
partying.
I've never had a Faygo.
I've had a Faygo.
Neither have I, but I like it in
I've
theory.
had plenty of Faygos. Like, you go to a gas station in the middle of the night, and that's a soda.
Yeah, I suspect maybe that if I have a Faygo, I might not like it as much, but, you know, as long as I'm doing, like, Juggalo Orientalism, you know. I don't like soda, actually, so I might not like Faygo.
There's no real easy way to transition into this.
It's 20 titty 2. It's titty 2. You can transition any way you want.
We're having a great time.
I mean, but Charlie, you're kind of not.
I'm not having a great time.
Yeah, you might say you're having the opposite of a great time.
Actually,
like
a
bad time or something.
That. Guess what I did today? I went and
Mm-hmm.
What did you do today?
Took pictures of and picked through the ruins of my mom's house, my childhood house, because we grew up in Louisville, Colorado, where you might have heard it burned down. And a lot of my childhood with it. There it goes. I literally was like, I was kind of hoping it took out the high school, just because then the entirety of my childhood mostly would have been torched to the earth, except for like my dad's house, and just a different town, so whatever. But
yeah.
Oh God, no, yeah, and it's like we couldn't really like. I literally I found an old student loan paperwork that had my mom's name listed as my mother on it, and it had my current name on it, and I'm like, oh God, this is gonna get me into the neighborhood, because they're blocking the thing out. Like, the big neighborhood that burned down that was in Louisville is the one I grew up in, and fuck, it is wiped off the map. It is flat. It was kind of fun to walk into the neighborhood and be like, wow, the view was good before they built all these shitty houses that are made of, I assume, some sort of petroleum derivative that is functionally just solid fire. So
just fucking, yeah, it's made out of like houses that are essentially just like shoe polish.
Yeah, I mean, it really does make you say, well, there goes the neighborhood.
Oh, boo, fuck off. That's
thank
beautiful.
you for making jokes about my
really,
pain.
Truly.
I mean,
it is. I was able to.
Charlie, I say this 100% at your expense.
Yeah,
go on. My soul is my.
No, I've got nothing.
Okay,
but...
well, I'll just pack a little bit of soul and life I had left in me back in there and continue. Then,
yeah,
well,
that's just the way to preface any joke. Is I say this entirely at your expense, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever happens to be.
We moved to Louisville when I was 3, because that's where my dad was doing engineering in California in Silicon Valley, and then as it got more and more weird and cult-like, he went where there were, jobs not, I don't know, more degrees. Like, it's like in fucking Silicon Valley, you build like a missile or like a computer system to spy on workers. And my dad was like, I want to do something that like, well, he was basically describing, I'd like to build an iPod, but like, that hadn't happened yet. And then they would do it later. So like, it was a thing, but regardless, like, we moved into that house in Louisville when I was like 3. So it's the only place I've ever known other than when my parents got divorced, and I know my dad's house, obviously. But that's where we've always lived. My mom's always lived there. That entire neighborhood, except for 2 houses actually on either side of it, burned down, and those lucky sons of bitches. That's very happy. I was very happy for them. Like, they're just
so. What is it? Just like a house each on like either end of just nothing now. Also, Jesus,
that's
a
shitload of trees that have been, because you heard the reason the fire spread is because it was like 100-mile-an-hour winds, and they were
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was like someone described it as they were, because it was like, as far as I understand it, the winds were flying like away from. So they were flying like toward the mountains, and then they were crashing. The air was basically crashing against the mountains like a wave, and then pulling out a riptide and crashing again. So it was just this churn of like ever faster fucking wind, just whipping at the mountains. Occasionally just shifting direction randomly for a short period of time. So like, it got weird shit. It's like, There's just part,
as you
we,
do.
We were just driving through town. Like, there's just parts of town where it's like, oh, look, the subway I worked at for a decade. That did not burn to the earth, but it was definitely so on fire that the subway sign is falling off and the entire top of that building is collapsing. So, like, the subway burned down. So, it got a lot of it got most of the first 28 years of my childhood in one way or another. Almost got to high school. It's close. Not that close, but it's like you drive away from the subway, which is burned down, and you get to the intersection in front of it, and everything in front of you is just fine. Nothing got burned, but then there's just a car sitting in the middle of the road on the other side of the street that's just literally completely burned through. And it's just like, oh, some of the fire just happened to leap off of, I guess, the subway, fly like 2 blocks down the road, land on that car, torch it, and that was it. Okay, great, good.
I really love the idea, like, how fucking quintessentially American town that, like, oh yeah, everything's burned to the ground, except, like, shitty strip mall stores.
Yeah. I mean, the Home Depot absolutely ate shit, like, all the way through, but the giant theater next to it was literally fine. But then, a few feet over from that, one half of the strip mall where, like, I'm actually glad this half of the strip mall didn't burn down, because, like, I know everyone worked somewhere, but I know one of the people who works in the hair salon, like, she was always absolutely wonderful and cool when I was transitioning. And
let's be real, like, janky little hair salons are, like, the backbone of the proletariat.
Yeah, this is not a janky hair salon. This is, like, I was allowed to come into the upscale bourgeois hair salon because the person there is like, you're fucking cool, and I like you, and we can, like, talk about cool shit, and...
Oh, well, that's lovely.
No, we just, like, did not... We just... Yeah, no, I don't fit in with the other people there. No, this is a shitty bourgeois hair salon, but some of the people there are really cool, and the person I knew was really cool. So that survived. And then across the parking lot from that is the subway I worked at. And that whole strip mall got fucking... there was the subway, the massage parlor, the nail salon, there was a tanning salon. It's your classic, like, fucking suburban strip mall. Also the cigar shop. I bet that smelled great going up, Like, cigar shop. Absolutely
God, all I can imagine is I would really love to watch a vape shop, or to be there for a vape shop burning down, because, like, it's got to smell awful.
Oh yeah, just a cacophony of just horrible, like, sweet smell, saccharine.
Ugh. Yeah, like fake pineapple, fucking cotton candy, Rick and Morty bullshit, just melting together with a bunch of plastic.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, it was absolutely...
Sounds nice. Yeah.
Actually, a few feet over, across a little bit of more parking lot next to the subway, the pot shop survived. It did not eat it, so...
Yeah, lovely. Although, again, it would have been a very nice little consolation prize for the town to just have, like, a bunch of weed smoke in the air. Like, people are trying to do, like, relief efforts and, like, check in on people and, salvage what they can. But they keep, like, getting distracted and, like, forgetting to order a pizza or something.
Just a little bit of that contact high.
Yeah.
Just a tiny
bit.
Yeah.
Just enough of it's in the air.
Yeah. No, they're not letting anyone back in most of the places yet. They're, unfortunately, cops swarming all over the place. They're very much nicer than they usually are, because they're just sitting in an empty, like, literally an empty, bombed out neighborhood, basically just telling people, do you live here? Don't go down there. Everything's still on fire. But if you live here, we'll let you go down there. Just don't go near it. It's like, it doesn't look on fire, but it might be. And also, like, every like, tent house you walked by smelled rancid because it was still on fire, and you could see smoke coming from stuff. Like, those little...
Wouldn't it be, like, the firefighters to tell you that? Like, what does a cop know about fire?
Well, I mean, there were also firefighters there, but, like, the cops are just there to direct you. Look, I don't know what to tell you. America relies on cops for shit. Like, the firefighters are also busy. They've got fires everywhere.
Yeah, the firefighters are, like, doing the actual work of fighting fires. Meanwhile, cops, being the beast fears the flame as it goes. So, like, who better than a pig to warn people away from
Yeah,
fire bad.
Yeah.
Basically.
No, I got really lucky. They probably wouldn't have let me in there. I mean, I would have just snuck in from the bike path if I needed to. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else was doing it. They would have seen me, but then I would have been like, I live here, and they wouldn't have questioned it, because they didn't once I was there.
Right.
So, like, yeah, no, I showed them one of my student loan paperwork that had my mom's name on it, my ID, and they're like, yeah, you can go down there. This says it's your mom. And I'm like, cool, good, yeah, whatever. Like, they didn't co-sign on anything. It's just a thing I typed in. But I did type it, like, 15 years ago, so...
It was printed,
ago, yeah.
So, you know, that means it's legit.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever print misinformation,
yeah.
you know?
But
Shit.
I'm glad I brought that, because it was the thing that got me in. So yeah, no, our house is it's gone. It's fucking razed to the earth. The entire thing is collapsed into a heap of ash into the basement foundation. It's terrible.
Fun.
Yeah. So my mom is not doing well. She's not doing a good job responding to me with text messages and stuff. And every time I ask, like, hey, you want to like talk about it or cry about it or something, or like just hang out because I'm doing all that stuff, my mom is just like avoiding those questions, and whatever, that's fine. She can, I mean, I was really sad because I'm like, I need my mommy right now, but also she needs me too, so that's like, she's the one who lives there, you know? It's not a good time.
Yeah.
I lost some pretty cherished shit, and literally since it happened, I've been just like talking to people in my house about Christmas and other things, and thinking about like traditions we can have when we pass on some stuff, and I just keep realizing, oh no, that's gone. That burned the fucking ground. Like, shit, that very like my grandfather is incredibly good. My mom's dad is an amazing, it's just an absolutely astounding model builder, like from scratch, just like incredibly detailed. Like, so when we were kids, we'd go to his house and set up little Christmas homes that he'd made, and those are all still there. Like, they're not at my mom's. They're one of them was, but the rest are at their house. And so it's like they'll make like, you know, an old fashioned malt shop or like a blacksmith or like other things. And these are like, they're the size of like, you put them on a desk. Like, they're fairly large, you know, like a few feet by a couple feet or something. And you like, literally they're perfect. They're incredibly meticulously detailed creations of these buildings. And you like flip a latch on the side and you open them up, and then you have access to the inside. So every time as a kid, we decorate them all and put all the stuff in them. It never got fully finished, but my grandpa had made a dollhouse for us when we were kids. That was like, it was like 9 stories. It was taller than we were as children. It was like,
Jesus Christ.
It was like 4.5. It was like 4.5 feet tall or something, 4 feet tall. And yeah. And so like, it was just like, oh, you could just like get furniture, put it in there, play with it, whatever. It's like, he just built it cause he wanted to, and he could. And it was incredibly detailed, and the inside was basically entirely unfinished because it was like, do what you want, but it didn't even have stairs. He was going to put stairs in it one year. It didn't have stairs. It just had a bunch of holes ready for stairs. And so, I mean, that was fun when we played in it. I would build stairs out of Legos, or I would just like put like a fucking like winch in there or something, you know? Mm-hmm. Whatever gets you to the top floor. But yeah, that's gone. That burned down. That was a really cool thing. There's a bunch of stuff from my childhood that was in the crawl space. I have the most important things here with me, like all of my Legos and my stuffed animals. But like, God, I was kind of hoping, like, I think it's all just melted into the ground. I was kind of hoping that it didn't completely burn through, because I wanted to find like my bucket of, I had a giant bucket of like little Star Wars micro machines, and also the larger Star Wars ones you could put the little guys in. And I was hoping that it at least melted into like some sort of weird plastic ball with like a Chewbacca sticking out of it I could just take home. But
that would be badass. Yeah.
I think that
see, that's a good little memorial right there.
Yeah, I
cool.
thought that. I don't think that's there. It looks like everything's gone. My mom has spent years now like in anticipation of retiring, which she barely was able to do, and I think she's freaking out a little bit right now, you know. But like,
I can imagine maybe a little
also,
bit.
Mom, if you're listening, sorry I'm telling all the things. Whatever, it's fine. My mom's not.
Hi, Charlie's
my mom. Does not have the brain space to listen to this right now. Like, my mom is not. Mom is not listening to my podcast right now.
I could imagine. Yeah, this is as far as things to console people with. This podcast is probably pretty far down the line.
Yes, This podcast is not therapeutic whatsoever.
No,
it is for me, but that's a different thing.
Again, that's trauma.
It's a fucking it's one of those trade offer memes. I receive parasocial relationships. I receive therapy. You receive parasocial relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was in the basement. A few of my I have the stuffed animals that I'm really, really attached to here in my place. They're in my room right now, and I'm glad I have those because that would have fucking devastated me. There were some others that I'm gonna miss. I had a bunch of like, as a kid, the one thing I had was like Brio sets of like the wooden trains. The little wooden clip together trains. That was like my favorite toy. So we had a giant box of those that was going to go to someone one day. And that's fucking like those are made of wood. Those are very gone.
those are fuel.
So now the entire thing's down. My mom had a van that she's been working on for years where she put like a bed in it. She was camping it. She literally just like finished it and has camped in it like 2 or 3 times in the last like year. And she was really looking forward to like, okay, my retirement that I was able to actually fucking swing is going to be me driving around camping in this thing. And holy shit. Like she tried to get home to get the van because it was the one thing she wanted, but the traffic was so bad just leaving, she couldn't make it. And so that van went up, and it was she put a lot of work into that and a lot of money into that. And I think she can get some of it back, but like she's starting over on that. And I think that's that's the thing she clearly is distressed about. She asked me earlier today, like, what's the condition of the van? And I said, it is a charred skeleton. And the only thing she managed to respond immediately was enough. And then she didn't talk for a little bit. And,
oh no!
And it was very, very. It's like, the van's a charred skeleton. The entire thing's been burned clean through. And just in case you thought maybe there was a way to salvage it, the I-beam that was beneath my upstairs bedroom above the garage fell and bisected it. Like it's.
Oh no!
Because of course it did. Yeah, because of course it did.
I think it fell on the part of the van that might have contained something that was like salvageable. I just. So,
Charlie, what was that I-beam do? Like, why didn't you move it?
I don't know.
This ain't up to code.
No. So there was that. I got to get some good pictures of like, the washer dryer completely bombed out. I couldn't dig through it. I showed you some. Yeah, you've seen it.
You showed us the pictures. It looks harrowing.
It's harrowing.
And the fact that it's like the fact that it's like it's partially covered in ash and snow does make it feel like fucking Dark Souls or something.
I believe you called it Skyrim. It does.
Yeah,
it does. It's just a bunch of burned out trees. Like the neighborhood is filled with trees, which are now just trunks with little stubs all over them, and the ones that still have like some twigs and shit, they're like windswept, just frozen, blowing in the direction of the 100-mile-an-hour winds that were in them when they were cooked.
See,
like
here's the thing. It's like if this, I can imagine if this happened to Bo, he would only be thinking of the furtive pygmy and like having to start
so easily forgotten.
Yeah.
Actually, the real Dark Souls real heads will know. If anybody mentions the furtive pygmy, you're like, who? Oh, right.
Yeah, right. I'm not a Dark Souls head. I
so easily forgotten. Yeah, it's a fucking bell curve. Okay. Yeah, of who. Of course, the furtive pygmy. I know the furtive pygmy. Here's a lore video about the furtive pygmy. Blah blah blah. And then who?
Bell curve of never played it to currently playing it to played it a shitload.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would
like Gwendolyn body pillow level, complete with little snakes coming off the bottom. Oh, that'd be so cute. Wow.
Cool.
Okay. Well, I know next Christmas.
Yeah, another thing for the red bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what your Patreon money's going towards.
So, yeah, couldn't really dig through any of it. A lot of places are still on fire. Ours might be. It didn't seem like it, but they've hard closed it. You aren't like even residents are not allowed to go in except to like they'll come and get you after like a little bit if they don't see you leave.
That's really rough.
I don't know how much they're actually keeping track, but like you can't go back yet. Like people are, but they're patrolling and stopping and being like, "Don't go in there! Don't go in there! Don't go in there! Everything's on fire."
Yeah.
So I got in because I had the addresses and stuff on paper. And God, anything else notable? Oh, the other one notable thing I think is worth telling the story about, which is the one thing my mom actually took some joy from as much as I did, which I sent you a picture of, which is the ammunition in there.
Right. Yes.
Which I think my mom would be upset with me for saying that she had ammunition in her home because I don't think she wants people to know that. But like, whatever. It's gone now. It's gone. It's all dead.
It's not there anymore.
So basically, there was just like one of those like army boxes like with the big flip latch on the side that you put ammunition in, like
the classic ammo can.
An army surplus ammo can, and
yeah,
so it had a bunch of ammo in it, probably like, you know, many boxes. Like it was supposed to be like the stash for a long time.
Yeah,
and all of the bullets went off, every single fucking one of them, and this can held. These cans are good. Like these bullets popped like popcorn. Like they're all fucking like the
like how bullets do, yeah.
But not like how bullets do. It's how bullet does, like not in a chamber with a barrel, because like it's I think my friend Kim told me it was a Mythbusters where they did like bullet in an oven thing to see if it would like kill someone, and the answer is like bullets are not nearly as dangerous when all of the force of the explosion is not forced in one direction. They're still not a good idea to be around in that situation.
And and definitely not a good idea to put one in an oven.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. You should not just like go take a lighter to a bullet you have near you. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. but in this ammo case, I found it like so. I found it behind the bathtub, but on the side of the house, and I was like, "What's this?" And I opened it up, and it was just literally filled to the top with ammunition that it just the shell had just splayed.
Yeah, the casing.
The casings had splayed open like popcorn, and there was just sort of like loose slugs in there. And this case entirely held. It is a good case, and I asked my mom, like, because my mom was like, "Do not send me pictures. I have not gone back yet. I am not ready for this." And I told her about the case with all of the popcorn bullets, and I said, "Do you want to see a picture of the case?" She says, "Yes, just the case." And so I sent a picture of just the case, and her response was just like, "Hot damn, that was a good case." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was." Oh god, I grabbed
that's a nice silver bullet lining, you know?
I grabbed a handful of popcorn bullets and brought them home. Also some like droplets of melted glass, because like the glass just melted like it looks like you're like pouring taffy or something, like just like pouring candy, or it just fucking like ribboned onto the ground. And I found some like droplets.
I can imagine because it's
just kind of hot glued it.
Because I can imagine because it's kind of cold. Like it probably even might have fallen on some snow.
No, it had not snowed. But no, this is the thing. We have not received any snow or moisture this winter until like less than 24 hours after the fire, maybe like 8 hours. Like the reason the fire was so easy is because we hadn't received any moisture this winter.
It's so that is.
I'm sure that's normal.
It's not.
That's
This
nothing
is
to be
like
afraid of.
this is my first direct climate change disaster. Like I got one now. Cool. I got my gold star.
Hey, you and me both, sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. I mean, it fucking. We had a cold front come through this weekend, and like, you know, it only got down to 30, and it's not like it's gonna. It's not like, you know, a lot of moisture in the air here or anything. But I was still a little bit like. Should I be like putting water in jars or something?
Water in some jars, break some firewood.
LA had like about 4 days straight of rain, and LA Union Station, the train station, was flooded, and people were getting in and out of town.
Oh, I saw
via
pictures
the train.
of that.
They had to walk through. Yeah, they had to walk through like 4 inches of water.
Jesus.
So I'm glad I did not make my boyfriend come from LA to Orange County,
because he would have had to fucking swim back. Yeah.
But no, we've had climate disaster here too. Thankfully, we didn't have as major fires, because that would have meant that we had huge mudslides.
Yeah.
Because it rained for 4 fucking days, and it's been very cold and wet here, which is not common.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if like the fact that like this happened during the winter, and the fact that we don't get tons of rains, but we do in the spring, means they might be able to like do some rebuilding and some like mitigation. So like, cause like I lived on a hill on the like it's the hill going down, like the steps down off a mesa, like. You're looking at it like this is just going to slough off of this hill at some point if it's too much. Like, we can't have too many rains.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
Like, it is a very fragile house of cards, the environment.
Oh, sorry. That reminds me of a thing. You know what else I found? I found a metal tin of playing cards. The playing cards have been entirely charred, but you could still see them. They were like in a stack, like if you ever seen a burned book or something, like a frayed stack of cards. And they took a few of them out gingerly and set them in the snow before they crumbled. And so I got a few pictures of like some like currently shattering playing cards that you can still see the designs on, so you know they're playing cards.
That's so.
It was
weird.
super cool. That like this
That's
is the thing.
really
is
fucking
it was
cool,
super
yeah.
cool. I just wish it wasn't my goddamn house or anyone's goddamn house. I wish I could have just like seen that
Yeah.
house burn down. We know. Like I get invited to the fucking like bring something you want to destroy that your ex owned.
You want this to be like. Yeah, you wanted this to be like the universal lot or something.
Well, no, you want this to be like, hey, the fire department, because they're so goddamn good at their jobs, and the local government in testing out new fireproofing materials and that are environmentally friendly, and very positive, and not it's body safe and shit. Is like, we're doing a test house. Bring shit that your ex owned that you want to destroy to the house, and we'll burn it alive. And then you get to look through it with us in 3 days.
It's your ex. You brought your ex.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of place you want to see this shit. So that's the whole story. We walked around. We looked at some other stuff. I don't think I have too much else to report on that other than I wanted to get out there today, even if it was like still on hard lockdown, because I'm going into surgery and I'm not going to be able to lift shit anytime soon. So I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah.
This is really an inopportune time
boobs.
to get surgery near my chest muscles. I have some this is really not the best time to get new boobs. I would like to be picking through some ruins.
Well, this is how you know
on
that,
this in Titty 2.
Yeah, this is how you know God is a misogynist.
Yeah, I'll post. I'll put
Absolutely.
I'll put the pictures of the devastation and the links in the episode or something. I'll find a way.
Yeah. We'll put it in Discord at least.
Oh yeah, I'll put it in Discord and I'll link to that. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, join our Discord.
And post in it. We don't know how to post. We're bad at posting.
Yeah, we're bad at that.
Posting is an interesting art, shall we say?
Well, sorry. Charlie, I have to say that I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
Like I've seen environmental damage very close to my own home. It's devastating to see. And I could never imagine it happening to anyone like that I know.
Yeah.
Here
we are.
I'm very sorry. Like
it's here. Yep.
Like it's a very hard thing to process.
Yeah. It's not
even just seeing that. It's like this is
climate change here in 2022 or Titty 2. Apologies. Is like Little Caesars. It's hot and it's ready.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is we unfortunately are going to be seeing quite a lot of this, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. If it gets better, hopefully, it's a better future is possible.
I know, I was showing some pictures to people about it, just like I wonder what's like. I'll keep this brief because we don't need to dwell on it. But I feel like shit and want to talk about it.
No, fucking go off, Queen.
I know, but it's like, I don't know. I'm in that weird place where it's like, well, it's my entire childhood. It's not my house, but it also means a lot to me. And also, my shit was in there.
Yeah, no. Fire chat and melancholic anecdotes. Yeah. Like, what a fucking cool way to ring in 2022.
I know, right? Like, cool. I'm getting, like, cool. My, like, that's the thing, though, is like, I consider, like, where we live now my home, but, like, I consider what burned down to be, like, my home, because, like, that's one of the two places I spent my entire childhood. Like, also, we don't, like, own a home, so it's, like, this isn't fully our home here. We can't change it the way I want to change it to make it, like, everything I want completely. It just is what it is, but, yeah, it's a fucking bummer. That's my home, and it makes me really sad, and I've been crying a lot about it, because it fucking hurts.
Rightfully so. We've been talking. It's your party. You can cry if you want to.
We've been talking about just like how awful disaster response in America is. Just the concept of like a privatized, like a private public disaster response that we have, where it's like, well, what does my mom have to do the day that shit's done? It's like, well, she has insurance, so she needs to call insurance. I assume insurance will be working with the city for something. Maybe there's going to be some federal relief funds that go to the state, which then get delivered somehow to someone. Who's like, I'm assuming things are only getting rebuilt individually on individual plots as they do because like insurance is paying out. It's very unclear, but it's like it's like I was just showing pictures of like fucking the DPRK, and it's like, oh look, this town got wiped off the map by a flood. They just rebuilt the place with like
And now it's back.
It's just it's better than before. It's like it's a nicer neighborhood. There's more plots. It's a farming area. It's like oh look, everyone's got their own individual garden. Nicer houses.
Yeah, the United States. I feel like we've said this before,
like,
but like, fucking AES states fucking like have a grind set that we decadent imperialists simply do not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a respect for the grind and admiration for hustle culture. Like that's what derives from a materialist analysis of how to run a fucking country.
I mean, I think I'd probably have a lot more respect for the grind if like any of us had the ability to actually grind on something that meant anything.
Yeah, you were grinding for good and not for like so the guy who owns Subway can make fucking $1 zillion.
Well, no, we don't even know what the fucking grind is here, because like the grind is like when you like go out and like fucking plant a field of like fucking rice or wheat or some shit, and like you like or you like build a fucking like a skyscraper or something, because that's going to be where you like where some people live and plan, and there's going to be like a fucking council in there made up of fucking farmers who help democratically elected workers who decide things, collectively. You're laying down like a railroad track to get those people from the skyscraper to the fucking like wheat and rice, and like that's what the grind is. Like you fucking like wind up at the end of the day fucking tired, and you're like, I don't want to do this forever. This sucks to do forever. My body hurts. But like everything you do, like that's the thing about the grind, is like if you ever feel like you're grinding, the point of the grind is such that tomorrow, because we're not in a crisis, presumably when we're talking about this, it's going to become easier because of what we did today. Like the grind, it's like like building like some sort of civilization, perhaps. Right? Like each thing, building a functioning society, which we don't do here. Each thing you do leads to the next thing, which all works in this perfect little system of interconnectedness, and you've built it all and you maintain it all, and at some point the grind just becomes ongoing maintenance and resources. Like this is all it needs to become, and like that's what the grind is. It's like, but here it's, you don't grind on anything. Like people who say they're grinding, it's like they are working themselves to death. They are constantly doing shit, but they're not doing anything productive or meaningful. They're just they have like a fucking like they're flipping vintage cars. They're flipping Twitter
houses or whatever.
They're flipping Twitter handles. Like
fucking ape pictures. Yeah.
like
which, don't get me wrong, I love a good picture of an ape, but I don't want to pay for it with fucking internet funny money, and also just it's stupid the Picru bullshit. The fact that like literally, I've looked into a little bit, like how do you actually like trade crypto? Like the number one question you can't seem to find an answer to is like, okay, but once it's crypto, how do I make it dollars again? And the answer is, so first of all, fund yourself some tokens. Yeah, and they're like, we'll use this exchange, do this, and here's a bunch of sign up information that's opaque. And I'm just like, I don't want, no, just tell me how it works. And it's just like, it's all fucking. All right, so first give me your bank account.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Like, you have to give them the bank account. You have to give it's all fucking miserable shit. And it's like, it's so complicated. Like, no wonder people feel like they're grinding, or they can trick themselves into thinking so. Like, the amount of work you have to do just to sign up onto, like, 29 disparate platforms to be able to trade crypto and actually turn it back into dollars.
If your way of making money... Yeah, if your way of making money involves looking at numbers that, like, aren't numbers, like, measuring a table you're cutting or something like that, fuck you, man.
Like, I played all day yesterday to distract myself from crying. I was playing a new game on the Xbox that I got called Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, where it was just it was wonderful. Yeah. I had lots of fun. I got all of the achievements. I got some of the endings. I felt very good about it. Like I love a game I can really love and experience and put down after like a marathon one day, and I don't have to return to it. Yeah. It's just a good memory.
That's just the best,
but it's like that was stonks and shit. That's just me like selling stocks on like buying and selling stocks on organs.
You're girl bossing.
Yeah, or just buying the organs directly while competing with other people in more of a like, it's a combination of like the computer one where you just bet on which way number go, and like you just have a revolving list of like, there is a spleen now, there is
Kidneys are up this year.
Well, it's just literally a line of organs that are coming in, and the various prices and rarities and qualities they have. Where it's just like, okay, so you're just buying organs. Like, it's like you and maybe 3 other computers just literally like on the stock floor screaming, trying to buy them out from under each other. Buy,
sell.
It's great.
Sell.
It's fun. And all I'm saying is that was fun. That same day, I'm also trying to figure out, wait a minute, how do the crypto people get it back into dollars? That never seems to be answered. They say they lose $1 million, but that means it was in Bitcoin. How are you sure you could have got that in dollars? I don't think you could, because like we've been following the Bitcoin saga for a very long time, and the number one thing that never happens is people don't seem to be able to get it back into dollars. And if you do, you're a fucking lucky bastard.
It's
because these people don't cash out because they have an ideological stake
then they
in it.
Don't have dollars.
Like, you can cash out.
They don't have
but
money.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. The people who are good at Bitcoin are not the people who. Yeah, the people who are good at Bitcoin, crypto, whatever, are not the people who, fucking spend 8 hours a day, like, following charts and, like, trying to figure shit out and blah, blah, blah. The people who are good at crypto sold their fucking crypto in, like, 2010 and never have to work a day again in their life,
Yeah, look, all I'm saying is the economy is a fucking game. All of it's gambling. It's just shit like this. But I'm saying I literally bought and sold on spleens and made it big for like 8 hours, and I did great. And yet here's this real life game where maybe you might be able to pull some of it out into actual money from time to time. It's impossible to sign up for or even understand. They make all this jargon so you can't fucking figure out what you're doing. Like, we can sit on the outside and analyze it, but no wonder these people think they're doing work. You poke at it for a few minutes and actually try and, like, see what's going on in there, and it's just impossible.
And you're instantly driven
literally.
insane. It's
awesome.
I
was. Right. I hated it. I don't know why I looked.
This next part's probably going to get deleted, but it just reminds me of how on Monday Zach was telling me that we have to figure out how to make Psychic Dolphin Garage some sort of like LLC or something. So like PayPal doesn't ding us every time, because PayPal's going to start dinging us for withdrawing over $600. And Zach was saying that this is why crypto would be better, because then people could just send us crypto. And
no,
it's like,
wrong.
It
needs to be dollars.
Also, like, no, but like, here's the thing: is like they also could just send us checks directly. Like,
nobody does that.
If any of you want to just mail us a check, I will talk to me. I'll hook you up with somewhere to send it.
Mail me a check. Because it's fucking 1998, and this is what we do.
No, but I'll give you my routing number or whatever. Like, I don't.
If you want to donate $5 for the Patreon, just put $1 in the Patreon, and we'll put an asterisk next to your name to read you out, and we'll fucking just give us the other $4 in Venmo. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't let Patreon get in the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like tipping in cash and like saying like, hey, don't declare this taxation stuff.
Zach,
blah blah blah. Being one of those fucking people.
If you're listening and this wasn't deleted, I love you. You're great. I want to shake you on this crypto thing. It's fucking bad. Pointless.
Right. It really doesn't make any sense. Like,
it makes it 1,000 times harder. The
internet funny money. It's fun.
The problem is that Patreon and all these intermediaries are skimming off of it and making money. If you just fucking centrally administered a monetary transaction system, like some sort of state-run fucking bank, then you could just be done. Money would just go. Well, there wouldn't be a ding on the Patreon. That would just be taxes.
Well, like, I also love the idea of, like, someone sending us $5 one month, and then it accidentally became $700.
Or they send us $5, and then it becomes nothing.
Right, and then they're asking if we can send some of it back, because that's not what they meant. And we're like, oh, God, we have
Sorry, the apes are gone. I don't know what to tell you. Someone stole our apes.
There it is. That's
SOL,
the reason
buddy.
You don't want fucking crypto on this podcast, is because... you fucking literally we become scammers just because you sent us money. Like, we're just sitting there with something fucked up happening in front of us, deciding if we push the do the right thing button or the like make a vague moral compromise button because we're broke, and also this other person doesn't need this money back. Their fucking bits are also worth like 700 times as much. But So is ours.
Yeah, I mean,
and
God
they're
bless
like,
you if
well,
you're
wait
if
a
you're the
minute.
kind of person sending us $500. I don't know what you're expecting to get out of that 500. There are ways you can spend that money that are much
Yes.
wiser.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it.
So that's I have nothing else to say
So,
on crypto.
yeah.
Leave it in. Just bleep out Zach's name every time we say it. They'll
Right.
know. Who,
Yeah.
they'll
Fucking-
know
we'll
who
figure
we're
it out.
talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
John.
Do you have stories for this episode that aren't just me like
Yeah.
being sad?
yes, I do.
Really?
I do.
Yeah, we can
Hey,
chat a little
you've got
bit
one
for.
about the DPRK. You could have done a transition, but you didn't, and that's fine.
Well, because you were talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I
Anyway, speaking of the DPRK,
No, wait, I appreciate that. Okay, so now I know the only time you don't manage my ADHD is when my entire childhood burns to the earth. Okay, we've set
Is
the
when you
bar.
got a
Well,
vent?
it did.
Yeah.
It did seem like maybe I should let Charlie get her feels out.
Well,
Yeah, no, it's not like, like something horrible and traumatic
Yeah,
happened.
it's fine.
So
Yeah.
it's fine. I just picked the ruins in my home. It's fine. Anyway, let's talk about let's talk about a fun.
Oh my god, when you say it like that.
It's what he did. I mean, it's my mom's home, but like I have stuff there. I have memories there.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
I go to my mom's
exactly.
house. I know all the
It's-
stuff
it's-
in it. I've been there the whole evolution of it.
It's good to be able to cope with tragedy by
Yeah, no,
riffing.
that's how
Yeah.
I've been doing it. Like I've also been wandering around, and I try to tone down the riffs when we're near cops because I don't want them to see us laughing and be like, "Get them! They're not actually grieving." Anyway, let's talk about a functioning state.
Anyway,
All right.
yeah.
So,
Countries that actually have their shit somewhat together.
this comes from Reuters.
Oh, good.
By Hyun-hee Shin. Thanks, Hyun-hee.
South
Korea-
Maybe. That might be someone who works for Radio Free Asia.
No, I said thanks
Oh, okay.
with sarcasm.
Okay.
South
Yeah,
Korea.
you put a little stank on it.
Yeah.
That absolves us. Yeah.
Yeah, South Korean crosses armed border in rare defection to North Korea.
I bet you it's not quite as rare as we think, as they say.
Also, I like armed border as if like, oh yeah, those dystopian North Koreans and their armed border, as if like we don't have people that like live here and essentially hunt migrants for fun.
Yeah, So a South Korean has crossed the heavily fortified border in a rare defection to the north, South Korea's military said on Sunday. The Joint Chiefs of Staff said it carried out a search operation after detecting the person around 9:20 p.m. on Saturday on the eastern side of the demilitarized zone, separating the two Koreas. The JC said that it would not confirm whether or not the person was alive, but sent a notice to the north via a military hotline asking for protection.
So they're definitely alive then.
Yeah, so the reason why this border crossing might be an issue is because North Korea has closed its borders because of COVID restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
And because there were some fishery people who did cross the border in September of 2020, and they were shot because they don't want COVID in North Korea, and apparently they don't have any.
I mean, I believe that. I'd honestly believe that just due to the sheer amount of restrictions the world puts them under.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when you're sanctioned to the point where your only buddy is China, and China's been real fucking hardcore about it, like, it's probably pretty easy to fucking just like
right on one border.
Hey, we're gonna put you on a train to literally anywhere else. Sorry,
right,
chump.
On one side of the border, you have like a fucking U.S. puppet state and another military, and it's just like on the other side you have China and I guess a tiny bit of Russia, and that like I could see not a lot of coronavirus going in there.
So, 2 months earlier, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un declared a national emergency and sealed off a border town after a North Korean defector who he said had COVID-19 symptoms illegally crossed the border from the north into the north from the south. So this is a person who defected to the south and then came back because of the capitalist hellhole.
Right, because it sucked.
But they probably had COVID.
Yeah, that's
so
what happens.
Just
in the capitalist
one
hellhole.
case one case was considered a national emergency, which it probably is, because this is a highly transmissible virus.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Yep. That Omicron ain't fucking around.
So the North's prolonged lockdowns and restrictions on interprovincial movement have also pushed the number of North Korean defectors arriving in the South to an all-time low. Probably because they don't want coronavirus, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you a lot of people just don't want coronavirus. So, yeah, there you go. So hopefully that person made it into the North safe, and they don't have coronavirus.
Yeah.
I hope they did not get hurt or anything. I hope they don't have coronavirus. I hope there's a good lockdown system. I mean, I know they have like fucking, as far as I know, pretty solid sanitization systems and shit there to like keep it at 0 or whatever they got, but
they don't have people fucking sneezing on the buffet at Golden Corral and then like, you know, just that's it. That's what they've got.
So,
or what they've not got. That's what we've got.
Good
is
on
what I'm
this
saying.
person. I'm see. This is the thing. Is like they say it's a rare defection, but you know what I think? See, I don't. So okay. So I'm speaking entirely out of my ass. But tell me what the vibe you get here is.
Please do, because I feel like that's most coverage of North Korea.
Like if like okay. So if right, I'm talking out of my ass about South Korea now. It's only fair. It just seems.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Okay, so if someone is crossing the border into the North through the DMZ and they're making it, they're getting out. It's just like, you think the South is not going to shoot them? That seems like a thing the South would do, doesn't it?
No, the South definitely does.
Like, yeah, like I mean, both sides do. I assume that's generally the vibe I get. Is that's the whole thing with the DMZ is like we don't need more goddamn people leaving the place and then becoming like mouthpieces for what is functionally the U.S. military. And just being like, because they fucking like you defect from the North, and then they put you in like even in like the accounts that
they put you on a fucking tour run, you know, around the U.S. usually.
Even before that, it's like,
oh yeah, we had to like eat rats that were fed a diet of rats.
Well, it's like even like the book, like the books and accounts I've read of people who I think are like maybe a little more credible. Of like, I'm just telling a story, but I'm also really biased. It's like, okay, it's like even in those, they're like, oh yeah, like I got out and I was quickly swarmed by like, you know, the Korean and fucking the South Korean and U.S. military, and like you just wind up in like a whatever the South Korean CIA is in a CIA room, like for like a month, they just like imprison you and try to get stuff out of you and try and figure you out, and that's like the stories that I find even slightly credible.
The real move is you pick somebody up and tell them they're still in North Korea and treat them like absolute dog shit for a month, and then let them out. You know.
I mean,
there you go.
I guess that would work.
Then say, hey, welcome to South Korea for real now. Wasn't that so terrible? Leaving that oppressive hellhole, and they're like, yeah, that was fucked up. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. The CIA, if you're hiring, I'm currently between jobs.
There's a lot of extra work for a person who wanted to leave anyway. But that's the other thing. It's like I think I don't know 100%, but like I've definitely heard some stories just like people like families were divided. Like people want to reunite fucking families and generations and shit. Like there's a lot of reasons for defecting that have absolutely shit. Like I would argue most of the reasons for defecting have absolutely jack shit to do with I disagree with the ideology and want the other one. I would argue that mostly it's either like material conditions from the world fucking sanctioning them to the end of the earth, or like their family is on the other side and they don't see a way to get them there.
Yeah, and there's really only one thing keeping unification happening.
Yeah,
and it's the
U.S. fucking military. Like, I felt kind of mean calling like South Korea a U.S. puppet state, but it's also like that's the thing that stops the thing from being.
I mean, let's be real. It like kind of sort of is.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. The people are like the South Korean people are not. But effectively, both the let's be honest here. Effectively, both the Japanese government and the South Korean government are puppet states of the United States.
I don't know shit. I don't know shit about Japan. So but for Korea,
obviously not as much now as during their inception, because how are you going to be a puppet state to a puppet master who has fucking 3 different kinds of dementia and like can barely work the fucking strings, right? Like we can't run our own shit, let alone our empire that well anymore. But they still, are aligned vaguely with U.S. interests at the very least.
Japan's constitution was written by the United States.
Post-war,
Well, right, and in Korea, the U.S. just assassinated all of the opposition until anyone even remotely ideologically aligned has fled to the north, and then in the south you just have the people who are left alive are the people and people who have a lot of guns who agree with the U.S. Like,
right,
Like maybe puppet state isn't a fair term for that, but also like that's fucked up. And good on this person for defecting to the north. Good work, and good work not getting shot by the south. Yeah. God damn it! I hate the way they report on this country. It's just so goddamn.
Oh yeah, no, it's always.
Isn't it though?
I went on a rant in the goddamn Patreon about how they treat China in the news, where they just like say, "Oh, this random anonymous person on China's social media said this, which backs up every biased belief I already had." Like, even if you don't know what's true, even if you don't know what's true, you know what's a lie because you can see it on the page. And this one with the North, it's very much just like, some guy crossed. We couldn't stop him, and we told too many people about it, so now we have to say it.
Now we have to do reporting.
We're going to call it a rare defection, and we're going to make sure you know that, like, also they shoot anyone who comes in, and it's like, whose fault is that?
We're going to really season it to the point where it's like, oh, yeah, this is
just
scary.
Counting on the fact that, like, I don't know why maybe the North would be a little twitchy about people just showing up and coming in. Like, I wonder why they feel that way.
Yeah. Like, even just COVID aside, fucking...
Also, they just mention, denuclearization negotiations between Pyongyang and Washington stalled since 2019, and I'm like, yeah, because the only way they're going to give up the nuke is if we give up all of our nukes. Like, we got a lot of work to do before we're going to talk to them about denuclearization.
Right.
And they should have a nuke. The people should have nukes.
It literally does stop.
It's the only thing
from. Which is
every single North Korean man, woman, child should have a nuke. That is my take.
Just Fallout.
Absolutely.
Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas.
Give everyone in the country a fat man.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
God.
Well, from one side of the world to actually not too far from me. It's about a 6-hour drive, I think. A kissathon was held outside of Six Flags Mexico following some homophobia. This comes from Aldia.
Now back to American politics.
Right. No, this is not American. I mean, it's North American, but it's not American.
I didn't look where it was. Where did you say? Oh, it's in Mexico. Okay.
Yeah. Six Flags Mexico.
Sorry, I was not paying attention. I'm literally going in and out right now.
Oh my god. So, this comes from Aldia, by Natalia Puertas Cabero. Thanks, Natalia.
Thank you, yes.
On December 29th, a same-sex couple was discriminated against in Six Flags Mexico, and activists called for a kissathon against homophobia in front of the park. Cool. Or in Spanish, it's called a besotón.
Ooh, besotón.
Oh, besotón's way better.
What was the French word you said earlier?
Décolletage.
Décolletage. Hey there, lady. Want to have a besotón with your décolletage? Hey.
So on Wednesday, December 29th, a video went viral on social media calling attention to an act of discrimination against a gay couple for kissing in Six Flags Mexico. A friend of the couple in question uploaded a Twitter thread with evidence of homophobia from the director of the Six Flags park and security guards. It quickly went viral. Now, a lot of this is in Spanish, and my Spanish is pretty bad. Basically what this tweet is saying, there's a link to it, but basically what the tweet is saying that the director, in scare quotes, the director of the park said that all forms of affection are banned from the park, but that's not true.
That's absolute bullshit. Then you'd be like kicking straight couples out for holding hands.
They looked at the rules together, standing there. It sounds like. and it was just not in there.
Yeah. And then they said it doesn't say anything no se puede tener actos que atenten contra la moral. Basically, like,
they're framing it exactly as like precisely as possible.
Yeah,
so
like,
they can be like, oh well, this is immoral specifically. Yeah,
you can't do anything like morally controversial.
Yeah. I mean, they literally say we have to keep it like a family. It has to be family vibes only. Ambiente familiar.
Yeah.
So, with the COVID-19 pandemic and cases of Omicron rapidly increasing in Mexico City, attendees were asked to maintain social distancing and other safety restrictions. However, despite other couples in the park making displays of affection, only one same-sex couple was reprimanded by the venue's authorities.
Also, the director is not providing any of this. He's not wearing a mask.
No, he's not wearing a mask at all.
He's not doing anything. He's too rich for rules.
So, there was a kiss-a-thon held outside the park, where flags of sexual diversity were flown and couples kissed in the arches of the parking of Six Flags. Now, 2 tweets came out from this, one from Six Flags Mexico, and then one from Six Flags, the main company, because these are all... And
Six Flags America.
And they're a little different from one another.
Yeah?
So I'm going to go ahead and read the Six Flags Mexico one.
Okay.
I'm going to read it in English because my Spanish is bad. I do have it translated, so it was
okay,
like proper.
Not too terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not me struggling to be like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Not Peggy Hilling.
Yeah. No, I don't. My accent's not that bad. God.
It'd be funny if it were, though.
So Six Flags Mexico says, or they tweeted, "We apologize for the misunderstanding caused towards some of our visitors during their stay in our park on Wednesday, December 29th. We stand in solidarity with our guests, partners, colleagues, and collaborators who are members of the LGBTQ+ community. Six Flags is committed to maintaining an inclusive environment and does not tolerate racism, discrimination, or hateful behavior of any way to anyone. Our goal is to provide a safe and fun experience for everyone. By way of showing our commitment, tomorrow we will meet with a commission from the LGBTQ+ community, together with CDMX, that's the capital, Ciudad de Mexico, authorities, and we will continue to work going forward. More or less. I did have to fix that translation a little tiny bit.
Corporate speak, but
that's more or less
fine. Okay.
Yeah, fine. This is what Six Flags, the parent company, tweeted out. Let me see if I can't find that. Oh, okay.
Them homos ain't welcome in our park.
So Six Flags...
Is that it, basically?
No, the Six Flags American company said, in an effort to maintain a family-friendly atmosphere, Six Flags had maintained a policy that discourages guests from being overly affectionate while visiting the park. This policy applied equally to all guests, regardless of race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation. However, based on guest feedback, we have determined that having a policy that speaks to affectionate behavior is not necessary, and we have removed the policy. There's no way that this was equally enforced.
Yeah.
Like I swear to God, the last time I was at Six Flags, 2 white people were like, a white man and a white woman were definitely making out. Like, there's
disgusting.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah, people are absolutely like finding ways to give each other head on the mind eraser or something. Like,
that's why they call it the mind eraser.
But
the twists and turns on the Batman ride? Oh, buddy.
So, yes, there's absolutely no way that this policy was equally put upon the people, the guests at the park.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love it seems like the community, the LGBTQ+'s community, their response to homophobia usually is a kiss-a-thon.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. In the past, that has been fine. Like, people protested Chick-fil-A that way. and people would just like make out with strangers. Let's maybe not do that now with Omicron. And
It's not great with COVID, but
Yeah.
I mean, there are worse reasons to make out with people.
Look,
Yeah.
Find. It's very simple. Find like 5 or less people and kiss them. Just make them your people. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
show your vaccination card
I'm not,
to one another.
I'm not pro monogamy or any sort of whatever it would be called, where you put a limit on the number of people rather than like gummy. I'm not really a fan of gummy in general.
You know what? You isolate for fucking, a week with those people.
Yeah.
And, you just do all sorts of stuff that's way more hardcore than kissing. And at that point, it's like, well, we probably got it.
You can fuck as many people as you want, like a decade from now. In the meantime, pick your number, stick to that number, and make them the same. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just have an orgy together at that one person's house as often as you can. And just, like, I don't know. I don't know. I know people can't take a week off of work, but maybe you could, like, find a way to, like, coordinate your, like, making your boss's life miserable with each other and just, like, not show up for, like, 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have your fucking polycule unionized. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Better yet, all work at the same
gay-
job and unionize.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do
Yeah,
the fucking...
I'll work at Six Flags Mexico.
You know how, like, it's sometimes in restaurant situations, like, all of front of house has just, like, dated each other at one point, and they all love cocaine, and, all that. Like, that's what you fucking do. Just make it formal. Fucking actually get all in a relationship and call that relationship a goddamn union.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
is
that's
that it?
So, yeah.
that's it for. I mean, I have nothing else to say other than keep kissing all you gays in Mexico.
Keep kissing safely.
I wish there was a whole...
Throw more besotons.
I wish there was more to say about that story.
Besotón?
But
Besotón.
ultimately, all of the
anglicize it too
corporations
much.
did the corporation thing they're gonna do, and gay people responded the way they often do, and all was all worked out more or less. No structures of power have ultimately changed, but that's not what this was about. It was about just making.
They didn't kiss the Six Flags to the ground.
I mean, they should.
I don't know how that would happen, but like I'm pretty sure gay people are very they figure it out. They'll figure a way to I don't know, like shove enough things in places.
They don't
to make it go
They don't
away.
call it scissoring because it's a wimpy act that can't tear a bank to the ground.
Well, we move from one Central American country to another, and this one has some really good news.
Really?
Nicaragua recognizes the real China.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So.
Oh, when you typed that in the
from,
docket, I thought it was sarcastic, and I was bummed. But no, this is fine. This is the opposite.
No, Nicaragua recognizes the real China. So this comes from The Guardian. Staff and agencies. No particular writer. Thanks, staff and agencies at The Guardian.
Just that's their name, actually.
They've got staff. They've got agency. They can write.
Mm-hmm. So
what can't they do?
China opens embassy in Nicaragua for the first time since 1990 after Taiwan ties cut. Nicaragua trumpets ideological affinity with Beijing and seizes Taipei's former embassy and diplomatic offices. That's kind of
highly based.
That's
highly
very
based
nice.
behavior.
So China opened.
Honestly, like fucking. I don't think we're gonna have time, but Chile's got a new president, and he's fucking cool as hell.
I mean,
I think this just might be a based Latin America episode.
Yeah. I mean, what it means is that two things to say about Chile's new president. He's kind of hot because he looks like guys that I would have dated, and also he might be like a fisting top based on his tattoos.
Nice.
Anyway,
good for him.
That's all I have to say about him. And he's a podcaster.
Okay.
So
hell yeah.
Oh well, I wouldn't want a podcaster running my country, but
No.
Hey, no,
But
no,
anyway,
you'd love
so-
it if I ran things. Just
Mommy president.
trust me.
Yeah, instead of Madam President, it's Mommy President.
We'd all get some
absolutely.
goddamn therapy, and I'd be really horny on Maine. You want me to get the post
Nice.
handle and be horny on it. You know it.
So, China has opened an embassy in Nicaragua for the first time since 1990, less than a month after the Central American country cut ties with Taiwan. The Nicaraguan foreign minister, Dennis Moncada, said there was an ideological affinity between the two countries and thanked China for donating 1 million doses of the Sinopharm coronavirus vaccine. Wow.
Awesome. Based.
That sounds like a really cool thing to have done to this.
Yeah, go figure
country.
that like helping countries materially puts you on their good side, huh?
Mm-hmm. This is some interesting history too. Nicaragua's president Daniel Ortega established relations with China in 1985, but after he lost the election in 1990, Nicaragua recognized Taiwan. I wonder if the United States had anything to do with that.
I feel like
no,
influence.
we've never meddled with Latin American countries, especially not in the 80s.
Mention who was in the middle. Who was in the middle there? Was that person?
So, Violeta Chamorro was a member of the UNO party, which was a national opposition union. A wide range of coalition of opposition parties formed to oppose President Daniel Ortega. Sandinista National Liberation Front.
So the reason I wanted,
liberation, yeah.
So the reason I wanted to do this is I wanted to do a find search on the page of the first person after Ortega for Contras.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look,
it's exactly like one of those articles about like millennial home buyers that start off with, "Oh yeah, we just were smart with our money and we saved and we worked, yada yada yada," and then at some point in the article, it's, "Oh yeah, also our parents gave us $70,000."
Yeah, so Ortega was the first president after the juntas. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
And like I said, he looks like, and he clearly was a comrade because he was a Sandinista.
So about Violeta Chamorro, and now I'm just reading from Wikipedia here, so take it with a grain of salt, but it says, the United States government was convinced Chamorro could not win without measures to level the field, quote-unquote. President George H.W. Bush administration wanted Congress to waive the prohibition of using National Endowment for Democracy funds to support a candidate and to approve a $9 million aid plan in addition to granting $3 million outright in assistance to UNO. Congress refused as direct aid to candidates or parties was prohibited. Congress finally agreed to the $9 million package only as per the legal agreements, meaning funds could only be used for election monitoring and observers, drives to increase voter turnout, and must be fully disclosed. $2 million was paid into the Nicaraguan Supreme Electoral Council run by the government, and in addition, the CIA covertly paid close to $500,000 to nearly 100 Nicaraguans living abroad so they would return home to vote.
Oh my god.
Wow.
1 month before the election, only $400,000 of the money had been sent and was deposited in accordance with Nicaraguan law into an account at the government-run central bank. The vehicles which were provided for in the aid package arrived in Nicaragua, but due to the customs director's vacation, the vehicles were not cleared nor were tags issued. 3 weeks before the election, UNO officials reportedly had received only about $250,000 and accused Ortega's administration of delaying tactics and taking a share off the top, which, based.
Yeah.
The government countered that the history of the Iran-Contra affair was a basis for caution that the U.S. itself was creating delays. All right. Yeah, I mean...
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, 2007, which is when he reestablished ties with China.
Hell yeah.
So in December, Nicaragua broke off relations with Taiwan officially, and last week it seized the island's former embassy and diplomatic offices, saying they belong to China.
Hell yeah.
However, China's new embassy is located elsewhere, and it's unclear what China will do with the Taiwan building. I don't know, like, make it a rec center.
Turn it into an Airbnb.
No, don't give it to the U.S.
I really love the idea too of a rec center, because it's just, what if the inverse of every like 80s jock, shithead ski contest movie where it's like, oh, we gotta save the rec center, otherwise they're gonna tear it down. But instead of like austerity, it's just, hey, they're building a rec center. Isn't that nice?
No, it's the opposite. It's a bunch of Taiwanese diplomats who were like, oh god, we got 2 weeks to get out of the country. They're going to tear this down and build a rec center.
I don't know how much skiing they do in Nicaragua also.
That absolutely none, unless it's on the water.
Yeah.
I love the quote they give from Taiwan condemning it, where it was, let me find this here.
The gravely illegal actions of the Ortega regime.
Yeah. Taiwan's Foreign Relations Ministry condemning the gravely illegal actions of the Ortega regime, saying that the Nicaraguan government violated standard procedures by giving Taiwanese diplomats just 2 weeks to get out of the country.
Oh. But also, the Taiwanese tried to sell it to the Roman Catholic Archdiocese.
Wait,
Which sounds
oh my
like,
god.
That's awesome.
Sounds illegal.
That's really funny.
Like the arbitrary obstruction by the Nicaraguan government of the symbolic sale of its property to the Nicaraguan Catholic Church. Yeah, literally, Taiwan was just trying to sell it to the church before they got out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Monsignor Carlos Aviles, the vicar of the Archdiocese of Managua, told the newspaper La Prensa that a Taiwanese diplomat had offered the property to the church, but added, "I told him there was no problem, but the transfer was still in the legal process." I don't know if you get to do that, Monsignor.
It's literally just, oh yeah, it's still going through the legal process, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna go to court and lose because fuck you.
Yeah, that seems like again like a very shady like. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Everything will shake out one of these days. I'm sure of it.
Just 14 governments, primarily in the Pacific and Latin American regions, maintain formal ties with Taiwan. After Nicaragua, many eyes are now on Honduras and its new elected president, Xiomara Castro. She's the first female president and also the first president to not be part of the Liberal or the National Party, but the left-wing Libre Party.
Hey, there we
With
go.
a name like Castro, I got high hopes.
Yeah.
Xiomara Castro just looks phenomenal on paper. Like, this is just a beautifully spelled name. I love it.
It's a hell of a name. Yeah,
it's good.
But yeah, they the Libre or the Liberty and Refoundation Party was founded in 2011.
Cool.
And is a leftist coalition of organizations opposed to the 2009 coup.
Good. Yeah.
Which was
opposed to a coup. Yes. Good.
Yeah, a military coup.
I'm not laughing because it's silly. I'm laughing because it's like, yeah, that's a good thing to be opposed to. The military coup.
Mm-hmm.
That's an event that we call a coalition builder.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that does sound kind of like it does make it sound like the Liberal Party then really didn't care too much about the coup.
Oh man, liberals not caring about major blows to the functioning of a fucking nation and society. Who would have guessed?
Mm-hmm. It's like, whoa, liberals who don't recognize liberals who look at the state of society and go, yeah, work is about the same. I just see more guns on my walk to work, and I don't walk to work. That's the whole sentence.
Well, yep. Ortega's based. He looks really cool in his picture from the 80s. I wish my mustache looked as good as that. Maybe one day. I actually look a little bit more like he does now.
Look at us. Good for us. This is the show you came to. We did a tankie episode and also talking about gays kissing. That's our show.
That's what we're all about here, folks.
It doesn't.
Also, I don't know why, but the Wikipedia counts him as the 26th president again.
That's cool.
Because I guess the last 3 don't count.
Fuck it. Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Whatever.
I mean, it's like
anyway,
Trump. They're gonna call him 45 again or whatever because they do the libs do the Voldemort thing if he gets elected again. He's not, but that's what they're gonna say.
Yeah. Right.
There's gonna. Oh my god. No. New prediction. That will be a discourse. If Trump wins the next election, there will be a way too long for its own good discourse about whether we should be calling him 45 or 47 or whatever, so we don't say his name.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be all over the news.
No.
Don't curse us with that.
Yeah.
Or titty
2.
Either way, 20 titties.
It's titty 2. It's double the titties. Because it's titty, and then it's 2.
I'll make sure to take some photos.
4 titties.
Yeah, before and after photos of my tits, so you can see the balloon.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing I like better on boobs than recent surgery.
just blood and stars.
I'm gonna.
Lots of stitches.
I'm gonna
really putting the goth in big titty goth GF.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet out a pus report every morning and give you the inches of
Oh,
pus.
love a good
today.
pus report.
End the show.
Yum.
End the show, Dennis.
Yummy. Love that. All right. Well, if you made it this far, folks, you are a true comrade, and thank you for sticking around. Shout out to all of our patrons, especially Olive, Julian, Kira, Julia, Dylan, Tim, Jen, the conduit of existential dread of Father itself, Lizzie, Eli, Knightley, the Warlock Phosphorus, Broobs, Cody, Jorge, Jack, the brilliant Dr. Fly, Samantha, Alex, Rufus, not a mole rat, Tyler, Caleb, Malwin, and Sophia. You all keep this show plugging along.
You skipped
Did I
Scott.
skip
How do you
Scott?
skip
I
Scott?
skipped Scott. Sorry.
Scott.
How do you skip Scott?
Sorry, Scott. Scott.
I hope you didn't skip
Anyway,
anyone else. Once you skipped one, I just lodged that in my brain and I didn't pay attention.
Well, you know what? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, folks. Yeah.
Let us know how you liked our patron exclusive episode, everyone who is on a member of the Patreon. You could donate at $1 or any amount of money that you'd like, as long as it's
$5,000.
Patreon doesn't let you do. I mean, if you want to do that, I don't know
Send us
why.
a whole Bitcoin.
But, you know,
if
if
$10,000 tier in.
But if you did, if you did though, and you do that, no matter what level you donate at, you will get access to our bonus episodes that we record before this, which are always a lot of fun. You'll get our D&D podcast, Dolphins and Garages, a month earlier than everyone else does. And you'll also get all of our bonus episodes, which include us riffing, just swapping stories,
a lot about cum,
and also
like more than a regular episode.
Yeah, hey, pitch in a few bucks, listen to this week's episode. We record them before we record the main episode to really warm up and get into the groove with our weirdest jokes. Just listen to see if you can hear my soul dying inside as I wait to talk about my house burning. As we joke about the etymology of the word cum. That is what you get.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cum jokes and cum facts.
Oh, and if you for some reason can't donate, which we totally understand, we're all broke too. If you're listening to us on a podcast service that allows you to rate and leave a comment, do that, and it helps us out. And then tweet the show,
like, comment, subscribe, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, start a Tumblr where you just post a picture of yourself listening to every episode.
Yeah. And tell your friends and family about us. I bet you they love us.
Totally.
Someone you know will like us. It will not be the person you expect, but they will appreciate you.
Probably.
So just tell everyone.
Tell your boss.
All right, I literally need to go collapse. My body hurts.
I bet, girl. All right. Well, thank y'all for listening. Yes.
I have to be ready to have a surgery tomorrow. What the fuck?
Fucking go do that.
Bye, folks.
Go prep.